Hey guys, wanted to bring another review of tonight's Monday Night Football game between the Niners and the Rams in St. Louis on ESPN. Wow, what a good game. Well, actually more for my fantasy football teams. I actually had two last minute wins because of tonight's game. I haven't had that for a while. So, background real quick, I actually have 7 fantasy football teams and actually went on 5-2 this weekend because of tonight's game. Could have been actually worse. It could have been 3-4. The last 2 games that I won with the last minute was because of the pick 6 from the Niners and also the second or third last pick or throw from Davis to Jared Cook gave me enough. I only needed like one more pass, and I was down by 0.23 points on one of the games, and I need Jared Cook to get something, and I got it with that garbage time. Pretty much first half, I thought the Niners was going to have a long night if they didn't make the adjustments early. They weren't stopping Davis. It looked like Davis was going to have a great night. He looked comfortable. Didn't look like he was in any pressure or anything. So, first half, it just looked horrible. But then the momentum started changing once the Rams secondary gave some interesting calls and some interesting play calls. Janoris Jenkins of the Rams got scored twice, one at the end of the first half with the touchdown from Brandon Lloyd, and then second half, at the beginning of the second half, the Niners took the lead with the Anquan Bolden score on Janoris Jenkins. So he got picked on all night, I would say. Well, I wouldn't say all night, but I would say 2 of the biggest plays was pretty much change on the most momentum. So, I gotta give my hats off, Rams. They gotta learn how to close out games, but they have a really strong foundation, I think, with their front 7 of any team right now. I feel like they were a handful, even though they only have 1 sack. But the thing is, Kaepernick wasn't comfortable in the first half. So they had to start changing things. They did things differently in the second half, made the necessary adjustments, started putting pressure on Davis, and Davis gained too much pressure in the middle, was rushed too many times. So it was a great win for the Niners on the road. It was one of those potential trap games. If you're expected to win, and if you don't win, it's a big disappointment. So, big win in that sense, because especially last time they had a chance to take over the division of the NFC West, and they didn't take care of business last time. This time, thanks to the Dallas Cowboys, they take second, still behind Arizona. So, right now, it's looking good. Looks like Seattle's not invincible right now. Really looking back, should have won that game against Arizona. That would have been a big win to take that first place, especially with the Niners not fully healthy. And you know, if you could maintain above 500, you're going to have later in your second half of the season everybody healthy and ready to play, and they're going to crank it up for the rest of the season. That's what you're hoping for as a Niners fan. Rams, you're in the toughest division. That's the bad thing. But your efforts there, every week it just seems like you just need to learn how to close out games. I don't see how Sam Bradford could come back, really. I think you have Davis, where you could probably build around. If he continues to grow this season, I think the Rams could be another team that will be tough. Rams played against the Niners 2 years ago, and they were 2-0 against the Niners. So and they have those draft picks from the Redskins still, so they still have a lot of blocks that they could build on there. I don't think the wide receivers are good. I guess. Well, Tavon Austin wasn't big. Grit, Kenny Britt wasn't that great. Jared Cook helped. I think they need some more weapons. I think they need a more consistent running back in that sense for the Rams. But front seven's good. I think they could work on their secondary. Other than that, this division is really tough. Every game is very great. And watching ESPN, wanted to bring up a interesting stat. First 29 games of Kaepernick's career. Reading off the screen off my television. 19-10 for Steve Young. Kaepernick 21-8. First 29 games, keep in mind. Passing yards, Young 61-13. Kaepernick 62-61. Very similar. TD to interception ratio, 43 touchdowns to 15 interceptions for Steve Young. 41 touchdowns to 15 interceptions for Kaepernick. And rushing TDs, or rushing yards, 12-23 for Young and 10-04 for Kaepernick. So it's very, very similar on their stats. So that's a good sign for Kaepernick. I thought he was regressing this game. He made some nice, tough throws, and hopefully he'll continue to grow, and he needs to look more and scan. He has 4 receivers that had hit 1,000 yards in their career before. Brandon Lloyd, Anquan Bolden, Stevie Johnson, and Anquan Bolden. So go ahead and like, share, subscribe. Great game overall on both sides for my fantasy and real life. Thanks.